Wild Rift news, please.
Okay, so is Kayn out?
He will be. Him and Aatrox drop on basically tomorrow night.
Frick.
Like
At the same
yeah.
time?
So yes,
No way.
I know, dude. Actually, if I'm being honest, I don't love the double champ drops. Mostly because I don't want to. I don't want to complain about like the pace of
No,
champs
I
because,
know what you mean.
but at the same time, like I want I want some space, man.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's a lot. When
it
especially
is.
like if Vex and Warwick were dropped at the same time, I would be okay with that because they're not like so overpowered like kind of
Yeah,
like
I don't think they are
naturally
either.
kit wise.
Yeah,
Kayn and Aatrox, it's like why are you
dude.
putting we have to get used to one of these champions. You're throwing in
Right.
two?
Yeah, I mean, Kane, he's got two forms, and I think people are going to. I mean, this is Wild Rift, so who knows? But on PC, his red form, the Rast or Rost, or I don't know how you pronounce it.
I
So,
don't even know it has
to
a
all you
name.
lore heads are gonna like rip me one in the comments on YouTube. Like, I'm sorry.
Come get him, guys. It's either Attack Baron
Yeah.
on Discord. Come rip Fiasco a new one for not knowing the league lore.
Feel free to write out your comments on YouTube and just be like, dude, what's wrong with this guy? Um, no, but he's right. His red form is the predominant form because he's got so much sustain. It's easier to build a bruiser, and I think just in general, people are going to struggle with that in this game. Um, I mean, you're always going to have melee champs, but I was thinking about this the other day. I was
Oh
like,
my
well,
gosh.
what do you do if you want to play Kayn? I mean, obviously, if you're drafting, you just draft accordingly. But
Right.
if you're sitting there and draft and you're like, whoa, I have like the enemy team is like triple ADC and maybe they like don't have someone made. I'm just thinking like, what if you really have no options to get to red form? Like you kind of have to learn how to play blue form.
Is it as simple
Um,
as like, because I'm not familiar with this at all, is it as simple as red form is AP and blue form is melee? From what I'm reading, it's like he's healing for a percentage of spell damage as the darkened form, and with Shadow Assassin, he just deals bonus damage. So is that like, you want to build physical for blue and AP for red? Or is that way too simple how I'm putting it?
so that's yeah. This is what I want to talk about. I want to get into like the nitty gritty of his kit because obviously
Please.
they've shared quite a bit about his abilities on and this is why I mean I think this point lends itself to the complexity of the champ because they literally wrote out tips for his abilities because they know people are going to play him bad.
Yeah,
I,
me. I'll
I
do
mean,
it.
honestly, he's going to be a champ where I think he'll release just fine, but people are going to play him poorly. So I was looking up
Then
build
they'll
stuff
buff him.
for him, and yeah, exactly, like the whole Echo thing all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have a lot of we don't have there's items we don't have from PC, right?
Right.
But it looks
Sorcerer's
like
boots.
if you're building the blue Kayn mode, you're using similar items, but you're using more of like it looks like you're looking like for more of like pen items, whereas with blue, or I mean with red, sorry, it looks like your core items are like Black Cleaver, Death Stance, um like maybe you want to get Ma or Muramana. So Muramana seems to be consistent with like any choice. So if you're
Yeah.
going to play blue or red, Muramana is not a bad pick.
Until you get
If you're going to
like
play
probably really good with him, then you could probably start going into very hyper specific builds where you're like, I know exactly what to do here.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and that's like he's got that's the thing. That's where I think like the skill expression is going to be is like how do I what form do I play this match and like who is what items do I build? But it looks like generally, like if you're building him red form, you've got Black Cleaver, Death Stance. You can even build in some tankier stuff like Thornmail and Randuin's.
Yeah.
Um,
I like the
but it
fluidity
looks
of it.
like
That's pretty appealing.
right. I mean, that like whole form thing, I think is really like besides him walking through walls, I think that's like, especially because I think red form just looks really cool.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, you can build. It looks like Muramana, Yumu, Cyrilda. So, like I was saying, on blue side, it looks like yeah. To your point, it's AD, but also like ability haste, and then you've got like Edge and Knight or Cyrilda. So you got like Pen
Yeah.
and more ability haste. So it really is just more of a lethality build. Like this build has Serpent's Fang in it. Um, so whereas red side you're building like tankier, you might build Spirit Visage to complement your heal. You've got Death Dance to complement your heal. I'm assuming he's going to have a mana problem, which is why it seems like Muramana is pretty consistent with either
Yeah.
of these forms.
Because
And
if
in
you're in a
terms
fight, you just
of
want to be spending, 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 especially if you're upping that
oh
ability
yeah,
haste.
in terms of like runes, like they're adding sudden impact. That's going to be so like that's one of the changes coming in 3.5. They're adding the sudden impact rune instead of the champion rune, which actually I don't know how many people take that rune at all ever, but
Champion?
the sudden impact one's going to be like you basically get bonus AP from coming out of stealth or from like dashing like a quick basically this is a rune for Katarina or Akali
Yeah.
or Kayn. Um, so otherwise, I'm not sure. I kind of think maybe you're just going Conqueror, sudden impact, and then maybe even because he's got like this whole, um, because he's going to be doing a lot of ganking. I think maybe you build like Nimbus Cloak. Actually, I don't know as it gets lower. I mean, like I think as a jungler, it's fairly easy to just go with like Hunter Titan or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Trying to get up that
where
tenacity.
yeah, exactly. But otherwise, I mean, like it looks like he really is just like you know, if you're going red form, you just want to have the sustain. You're going to be in combat, so you Conqueror the sudden impact and yeah, Nimbus Cloak's always good. You just you randomly get a shield, or not randomly, but you get an additional shield, which I've actually been playing a lot of Diana recently, and that champ's busted. But
Yeah.
Nimbus Cloak on Diana is great.
I see a lot of people take it. I'm not familiar enough with like. Tr- I feel like there's a bit of a skill curve with that in and of itself because you have to like use your abilities to get the speed burst. And I'm like, do I not your abilities, your runes, not your runes, your spells. Oh my gosh.
Summoner spells,
Yeah.
summonies.
And it's
Yeah,
I haven't played around with it enough to like know what is going to give the most speed, what is like the cost benefit system of them, what I want to like burn and like kind of waste to get a boost of speed. So it's that one's tricky for me, but I see everyone taking it and I need to figure it out.
maybe I'm thinking of the wrong rune, which could be. I think I'm thinking of. Hold on, I'm gonna pull this up. Nullifying orb. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
I'm
that makes
terrible.
okay.
I'm
I was
thinking
gonna
about
no, but no, I mean with Kayn, I could see the cloak also like Nimbus cloak could absolutely be used on him. Getting a burst of speed while you're in a wall to get where you need to
yeah,
go. Like nullifying orb is still great though. They're
yeah,
both
nullifying orb. Great.
yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about this fool's abilities real fast.
I will say right, just in an overview sense, I'm shocked at how simple his kit is in terms of like what it all does. Like it's all very straightforward. There's no like
Yeah,
crazy comboing going on here. It's all like it really is like a timing, knowing like the field of a fight type of a feel rather than like, oh, if you set up all of these abilities, then you're gonna sweep an entire team. It's like, no, you've got to enter the fight correctly and then you'll sweep the team more so than anything. It's really interesting.
I so like yeah, I think it really is like um you'll have to know each form, right? Because each game is going to lend itself to, I mean, you're going to have to play to the game, right? So like
Yeah.
if bot lane's always pushed and you have to, you're probably just going to get to blue form faster. It probably makes sense for you to get to blue form, and use it if you can.
Oh, that's
But
right. It depends on who he kills. Wait, so what again gets him to red and what gets him to blue?
yeah, so okay, so his passive is basically like he's this guy who's possessed by the Darkin, and
Mm-hmm.
he's like constantly fighting for control of the Darkin, which is named Rost, Rhaast. Forgive me, that's I mean Rost.
That's a
That seems
safe bet.
logical to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, they're competing for control of the body, the vessel, if you would, and basically, anytime you kill a melee champion, you feed Rost. While if you kill like or damage range champion, so it's damage or kill. So like anytime you hit a melee champ, you feed the red side. Anytime you hit like a range champ or you kill them, you feed the blue side. So, and you basically have a bar under your health, which basically indicates which side is more fed, and then
Yeah.
kind of like the quirky package until you choose a form. Um, these basically these like shadows show up on the fountain, and it's like you have to walk into it to transform, and then you do like a six transformation.
Okay.
So he's gonna be really cool. Um, but so his first ability, the slash, I think everybody's seen it. Basically, he takes out his scythe and he just does a big whirlwind with it.
Yeah.
Um, and he dashes forward as well. So I believe that in his red form, um, it has knock up. One of them has knock up. It's either blue or red, and so
Oh, do
I
his abilities
apologize.
actually change in the forms?
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, okay. So I'm on just the league website. It is not telling me that. That's crazy. Okay, well, it's not
Yeah.
straightforward. Completely disregard what I said before. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His it definitely has some. If you're when you're in the blue mode, like it's different from when you're in red mode for sure. Um, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, and if I am, then it is what it is. I can't find any information that to say I'm wrong.
I'm not seeing. I'm shocked at how hidden details on his kit are when in those forms if the abilities change that much. Um, I want to find well, whatever. That's really interesting though. I do want to say really fast. It is really interesting. Like if everyone knows what they're doing in a game, I don't really see him as being necessarily overpowered. Like if you know Kayn, you know where he would excel against your team, and your team's communicating. You say, okay, we really don't want him to go blue. So ADCs, you guys need to play so safe. He's definitely going to want to get you guys. He's definitely want to take you out.
Yeah.
Don't let that happen and just farm up until can do what we can do. And then because he doesn't want to go red, clearly solo like really push on it. Like and then if he shows up like I don't know, like fallback or whatever. But it's just really interesting that you can like it doesn't feel as overwhelming once you kind of like see where you could counter it or shut him down, not allowing him to go where he wants to go. Like it's completely in the hands of the enemy team if they can know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean that's true. It's like you can just like prevent him from getting to. I mean, you can try, right?
Yeah, exactly. Until he comes out of a wall and kills you under turret and then goes back into the wall. You're like, okay, cool. I guess I can't stop this. So that's cool.
Oh, okay. Here, I think I'm seeing this. So like in the darken mode, you deal um you basically just do like maximum health damage as opposed to dealing like physical damage.
Oh,
So
interesting.
which is crazy. It doesn't list a blue side, so I'm assuming oh, here we go. In blue form, his S2, which is basically like kind of like the Yone, you have like it creates a line.
Yeah.
Um and I think it has a slow.
In his base form, yeah.
So in red form, it will knock them up. So it's the S2 that has the knock up.
Okay.
But in blue form, it looks like you can his range is extended and he's able to manipulate his shadow to perform the attack for him, allowing him to cast on the move. So
Like
very
Zed, kind of?
yeah, it's
Like he sends a shadow forward and then it slashes?
Riot, can we please get a champion highlight video?
I
Like,
know, for real.
like what's
He
with these
drops
champs
tomorrow?
dropping seriously? And then they put out the watch. They'll put out the video on Friday. They'll just be like, why? But I'm assuming you basically just get extra range. I'm looking at a video of it, but it only shows it in the base form. So
Interesting.
yeah.
I'm
So
looking at
I
his
don't.
first ability with Reaping Slash. I'm not
Yeah,
seeing a Shadow Assassin bonus. I only see a
I
Darken
know.
bonus.
Yeah, right. That's what I was just thinking. Like he gets the extra health where like you do like target maximum health damage and as well as AD, your normal like
Wow.
65% AD or whatever it ends up being. So
3.5% per
yeah, it's kind
100
of weird. It's
bonus.
like
Gross.
so yeah, I don't know why the S1 doesn't get like why blue form doesn't maybe I don't know. But we know the S2, he has more range in blue form. In red form, he basically knocks up all targets hits that get hit. I mean, I think we're kind of seeing the reason for red form kind of form itself, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's more like you have CC and sustain. Like
It feels very
that's
anti-tank. If you have a team of fatties that you're up against, you want to be red, is what it sounds like.
I don't. It just seems like yeah, it just seems like it's just. I mean, it just seems like the better form. I mean, because I don't really play assassins, but
I don't either.
that to me feels better, more
to
comfortable.
to a bruiser and a mage try to make an episode about assassins.
Yeah,
It's gonna break
exactly.
bad, Fiasco. We're gonna get flamed for this one, dude. It's
Well, you
not
played a
good.
Kali. I mean,
He
Diane is an
moves
assassin,
quickly? What?
but
I don't understand. Oh, this makes more sense. So look at the third
yeah.
ability here. So third ability only has a Shadow Assassin bonus. Um, so
Okay,
so
there you go.
normally, when it's active, Kayn gets 40% bonus movement speed, and then jumps into walls and jumps out of walls, and he heals himself upon entering terrain for the first time. By the way, this is like the PC wiki breakdown, so this
Right.
might be slightly altered.
Yeah, I don't see them mentioning like a heal on their most recent news patch. It just kind of
With
says like
Wild Rift.
he goes to the wall and then it's good for ganking. So
Yeah,
that's
it's gonna
like
be great for ganking. Um, Receiving damage from or dealing damage to an enemy champion while Shadow Step is active reduces its remaining duration to 1.5 seconds. Oh, that's interesting. So you can like if you hit him, it's like okay, you're done. You can't. That is really nice in terms of escape. My fear was him just turning it on and then leaving a fight and being like, great, he's gone. But the
dang
fact
it.
that if you punch him once, he doesn't really have an opportunity. That's awesome.
But in blue form, he gets slow immunity and increased movement speed and also CDR.
And it's reduced to 8-second cooldown at all ranks. That has to
So
change. There's no way, dude.
yeah, no, that's like a
Eight
PC.
seconds?
The PC cooldown times are crazy.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. That's true.
I'm sure it won't be. I'm sure. Well, I say this. Look, he's gonna come out. He is gonna be what he is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, we we'll see, but basically, we know based on what they're saying that he's gonna have slow immunity and increased movement speed in the blue form. So in his blue form, he just CC immune or at least for slows and more CDR. His ult, his ult to me feels like it's just not. It feels not so impressive to me when I've seen it on video.
Yeah,
It's kind of like the downside of Alpha Strike from Master Yi. It's like,
exactly what I was thinking. Exactly what I
right?
was thinking.
You're so basically he goes all spectral and like enters into the body of his victim, and you can see his scythe kind of hangs over them like an umbrella.
So you know who it is, like as a
Um,
team, who
right.
got possessed.
So you can see where he is. And it basically it's going to be good for dodging CC. It's going to be all the same benefits of Alpha Strike, right? It's going to be like, oh hey, look, I just dodged your CC. Only Alpha Strike, you can do it every however many seconds because Master Yi's busted when he's like really going off.
Right.
But this is going to be like a, hey, I just jumped in this dude's body. He took
Swarm
me
him.
to the tower where
Yeah.
he took me to the tower and his friend knocked me up and I died. That's I just feel like to me it's not all that impressive, but basically he can emerge from his target, which I think you can also like dash out of the person that you've entered. So it's kind of it's actually going to be kind of funny too because you'll like ult into somebody and then they'll run away in fear to their team and you'll just be like, I gotcha, S1. So we're gonna see, but basically again he heals himself, um, he deals increased damage, and then in his blue form he gets increased range and resets the darkened scythe bonus damage cooldown. Is that a
Okay.
thing that I didn't? Okay, that's his
Yeah, I don't.
passive. What I feel like, so I complained about this on the Discord. Obviously, they didn't give us like the ultra like nitty gritty like every single stat and damage number and
Right, right.
whatnot. But I'm just kind of like, that's pretty ambiguous, bud. Like,
Yeah, for someone as complicated as him, it's a lot.
I'm
Um,
like, what?
I want to see, because that when he drops, people are going to be greedy for kills, clips, all that kind of stuff. I really want to like
Hmm.
try and bait a recall and try and time it out so that one will enter me with their ult right as my recall goes off, and I can take them back to Fountain with me.
The fountain.
I feel like that'd be really
Where are you
funny.
going, buddy?
Yeah, it'd be
I'm
awesome.
wondering how. I'm hoping that they haven't done anything where he's like can exit the map and like the game breaks, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I'm hoping they have that under wraps.
I doubt they'd release him if they didn't, but I mean, who knows? People might just start playing around with it and getting goofy.
I mean,
Um,
it's a map where like there might be gaps. I mean, that's how speedrunners get through most games, you know.
yeah.
Different size map, but nonetheless.
So really
Um,
fast, what is his cooldown? Like, or not cooldown? Oh, okay. So Darkened Scythe. Uh,
I
Whenever
know.
Kayn scores champion takedowns or deals damage against champions, he earns or unlocks his forms. Kayn can return to summoning platform to transform permanently. Okay. There's bonuses after you've transformed. That's your new passive. If Kayn has, that's dumb. He should just have the one. IMO. But if Kayn has been out of combat for a period, his attacks deal bonus magic damage for a short time upon entering combat. That's Shadow Assassin. And for Darken, Rost heals for a portion of the damage he deals to enemy champions with his abilities. So
right.
I'm thinking that. Oh, so that's just for Shadow Assassin. So when you enter and then leave a victim, you get your bonus magic damage. It's off cooldown as
Oh,
if
okay.
like you were out of
Okay.
combat. Oh, because you
So it's
were
like
out of
right.
combat technically in a sense. And then the Darken bonus for the ult is just modified to deal physical damage equal to health. Just same deal. Like, I'm not going to go into all that. He does more damage, it's going to hurt more, and it's going to heal him as he leaves the victim.
Right.
And it
Yep.
heals him a good chunk. I will say this 9.75% of target's maximum health plus 8.45% per bonus AD. So his own AD. So if he jumps into a Garen when he's built high on AD, dude's coming out with a full health bar every time. That's so lame. That's so good.
We'll we'll see. Yeah, his red. I know his red form is again the better, the more chosen form.
Is
But
that true? Is it more often like picked like in competitive?
yeah, that's what they play. They play the blue
Interesting.
form. Yeah, or I mean the red form. Sorry. The blue form is like the not so great form.
More
But
specific scenario.
yeah, this is Wild Rift, so who knows?
It's true. He could be
They
they've changed up so many people. He could be really different.
yeah, I mean I think I'm gonna go back and watch their like 3.5, little video because they kind of have a bit of info on him. So that'll be good to like visually see. But I, I'm excited for him. I'm maybe less excited for Atrax. Honestly, I kind of feel like he just seems boring to me. Like, I don't know.
Atrax just feels like
He's like
another
a
big
tanked
fat
up
guy who
Riven.
can deal lots of damage. Like
Yeah,
it's another
he's like
Garen
a tanked up
Darius.
Riven.
Yeah.
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 Um I do want to say so they have this whole they released a article earlier this week basically going into some specifics, more specifics at least than what they shared in their 3.5 video. And I'm pretty sure that this drops tomorrow at uh you know oh won't whatever midnight UTC is, so it's like my time, it's like 7 p.m. or something along those lines,
Mm.
whatever. um so they go into to talk about like the changes they're making to the jungle. We talked about this last week, but with Smite, but they go even further. Again, not very specifically, but just to kind of put a name to a face. They basically now, if you're a jungler, you're getting a specific buff called conservation. They don't really talk about what it does other than every 5 seconds the buff gains 6 or 12 stacks depending on how much gold you have, and the max charge is 150. So basically, if you only farm or only gank, you're missing out on the extra gold. And I'm assuming that you cash out on these stacks by killing large monsters. That's what they've said, but it's not written here. So it's I'm reading this and I'm like, okay, like yeah, we get stacks, but like what do stacks mean? Like what do they
Yeah.
do? Like
Yeah.
they're stacks of charge, but it doesn't say like. So in the video they mentioned killing large monsters. I'm assuming that basically you get more bonus gold for killing stuff um, in the jungle, basically. So you're not going to want to be like perma ganking. Who does that? I don't think anybody even really does that. I mean, people are going to say, "Oh yeah, I get that jungler who does that."
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not that jungler, so I don't know. So I'm sorry.
No, it's that's the thing that makes me nervous about it. Like them needing to balance it out. I'm wondering like if newer junglers or even experienced ones, if both sides know exactly what they're doing, if this is just going to create a more passive field of play, if both teams are trying not to push out because they neither want to get ganked because they don't want the other team's jungler to get ahead. You know what I mean? That's kind of my fear. If you have to balance ganks and farming, like are just ganks going to be so much harder to get because everyone's aware of that? Like I don't know.
Hmm.
It makes me nervous.
I'm the thing I'm I gotta say, I mean they go into talk about Smite again, no specific numbers, just that as the game progresses, as you use Smite, it levels up. But the maximum damage I've seen Smite be now is 800, which is a big change. It's gonna I feel like even I who pretty much only play jungle now, I feel like I lose ability sometimes. Like the other day, um, Infernal Drake was 500 HP. Pantheon's ulting in. He hasn't even landed yet. I go to smite. He steals it from me. I was like, how did he do this? I mean,
He
I'm
can
just
smite
feeling like,
before he starts sliding through.
right.
That's
No, well,
crazy.
that's that. Yeah, that I didn't really understand that. I'd have to go back and watch it,
Yeah.
and maybe I would just timed it wrong. But um, if I just feel like people are gonna have to get used to this 800 damage smite.
Yeah. And remind
Um,
me, it's not, we don't have red blue smite anymore, right? It's just smite.
right. It's just chilling smite. It's just the blue smite, which is
Woo.
like I only play with blue smite anyways
I usually
because
do too.
it's just great to slow people. But yeah, the red smite, I don't, people used to say something like it would like had like a burn effect, and I was like, I mean, I don't think so. I think red buff has a burn effect. I don't know too much about red smite, but it's gone now.
Yeah.
So
So who cares?
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
jungle monsters though. Now I have seen this in the Chinese test server because I've seen some Darkbreaker videos where he's playing this, and the camp. So they go on to basically say that they're adjusting the camps, basically adjusting their behavior and adjusting like your clear times so that you don't have to start red, because they're saying that people are still starting red, which I mean, people might start red side, but nobody's starting red, at
People
least
start
not in
crows
the
if
games I
anything.
play. I go Krugs or Raptors. Like
Yeah.
if I know like bot lane's just gonna get pushed in, like I'll go Raptors because then I'll go red. I'll go Raptors red, and then go over to Krugs and wait for them to get pushed in so I can gank at level
Yeah.
30.
My whole
But
thing of like placing a ward at the crows to like huck something over there and steal that gold has just not been working out lately, and it's bumming me out in a
no,
major way. No,
oh
well, it's no one
no,
take like people are either there first, and I don't really have an opportunity to like sneakily leave a fight and huck one Ziggs bomb and take the gold or whatever, um, or they're there and I'm getting like caught with my pants down, just right in
right.
front of
It's
everybody.
it's still a really strong. I think even if you don't deny the camp, it's still a strong ward
Yeah, I
because
agree.
you know where the jungler is. I mean, that's key.
Yeah,
But so the one thing they do mention though is they've adjusted these these camps, like the health of the camp. So like, and I've seen this. I'm my concern is that jungle is going to be such a strong role because of clear speed is going to
yeah,
be so much faster.
yeah.
I mean, they say clear time should be faster overall, and you should have an easier time surviving against the jungle. I don't know if you're going to red buff and you're fighting it as somebody who has a slow clear time. You're probably coming out of there weak, but then why are you starting there, right? So, but if you go to chickens or Krugs, you're not leaving with like, you're leaving with a lot of health. You're
Yeah.
level 2. You go
Yeah.
over to the red buff. You kill it just fine. You have smite. Smite heals you. So, to me, this is what concerns me. I just feel like junglers are going to be too strong. Like I'm concerned that this pace change. I was the guy who's like, dude, I can never gank a lane before like the enemy laner gets to level 5 if they last hit perfectly.
Yeah.
Because like they get level 5 and they have ult before I do. Like it just is how it happens. But now I feel like jungle's always going to have ult before laners are.
100%. Well, so we can break it down like this too. Like with how big of a change this is, chances are it's going to need to be adjusted down the road,
Yeah.
right? Like there's no
Yep.
way this is going to be
Yeah.
exactly how they want it on update. So
Right.
then we can predict from there. And with what we're seeing and what we know about champions and current clear speed as opposed to what they're saying is going to be the difference, chances are it's going to be faster. And so if it's going to be imbalanced and faster, jungler's probably going to be a really, really strong role for this season. So
Yeah.
that's like an educated guess, right?
Yeah.
Maybe if
Yep.
so here's basically what everyone can take away from that. Play it safe in terms of being ganked. Like you don't want to be, especially with Kayn on the loose getting whatever he wants. Like you got to play it a little safer probably. Best case scenario, we're right, and you're denying these junglers their ganks and extra clear speed because now they do need to gank as well. Or you're playing it safe and farming up and getting strong for like a slow long game, right? Like it's just kind of like that's the best you can do until we know exactly what's going to be happening after this update drops and we feel it out. That's just a strict
Yeah.
caution for like the first 1, 2, 3 days of this update.
So it's like they said in the video like they've had an emphasis on roles, and the last emphasis was on support. They gave them the new support items that help them to get more gold, um, just plenty of items overall. But to
Which felt great.
me, this doesn't. But I feel like on paper, this doesn't feel like the equivalent of that.
No,
Like that
I
felt
agree.
like, okay, like supports are relevant. This feels like, dude, you better learn how to jungle because this is how you're gonna carry every single game, like no matter what. That's kind of what it feels
Yeah,
like. But I think, yeah, they want jungle to be strong, and I think they want it to be a more populated role. Like it just
totally.
isn't. It's crazy how if I go into solo queue and I'm always jungle, I'll get a match like just it's not even
Instant. Yeah,
5 seconds. I just get a match. That's great. And so I feel like they're trying to populate the role by kind of watering it down. But we talked about it last week. I think that's going to kind of skew the experience, and when it gets harder, because it will. And the bonus gold thing is gonna. I mean, that's gonna. If it's busted, it's gonna go away, or
oh
like
yeah, oh yeah,
it'll get tuned down, right?
yeah. Well, let's like look at the timeline like of the role of jungle over the last like year. It just has been feeling like it's been neutered. Like like
Yeah, yeah,
every
yeah.
couple of months they're like, hey, we made it worse. We made it harder to
Remember when
jungle.
Scuttle used to give you a lot of experience?
But over a year ago, remember how powerful jungle was? Like if you had even a half decent Kha'Zix on the enemy team, you just lost. Like there wasn't really anything you
Yeah,
could do. And so it's like
yeah,
they neutered it for good reason because it was too powerful, and now it is so weak. Well, I shouldn't say so weak, but it is significantly weaker than I'd say a lot of other roles. Like I'd say ADC and mid feel like the two most relevant. Like if someone's popping off and carrying the game, it's one of those two, or like a Fed Darius or something. But the point being, like I think that we're going to see an overcorrection, and I think we're going to go right back into
yeah,
it being such a powerful role. Completely a prediction, but it's just my
yeah,
guess. It
yeah.
feels
No,
like that's what
I
will happen,
agree.
and I don't
Yep,
want it, but we'll see.
I agree. So
Um,
they're
oh,
adding in. They've mentioned they're adding in some new runes, some new items. Um, there's this new. Um, it's called Horizon Focus,
a
and
new item, right?
I think it is. But again, they don't give you specifics. They're not like, oh, hey, look at this. Like, look how these stacks work. So basically, it's like it's got a passive, yeah. So it's got to be an item,
Oh yeah.
and
It
basically,
was they showed Lux using this in the
yeah,
trailer.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You get like one stack when you hit a champion from longer range, but if you immobilize them, you get two.
Hmm.
So, but I'm assuming stacks just add up to more damage? Like,
I'm not sure.
it doesn't specifically, it doesn't say. Like,
Um, is that more than 700 units away? Again, this is PC, or slowing,
yeah,
immobilizing, or polymorphing them, reveals them, and increases your damage dealt to them by 10% for 6 seconds. That's pretty good. Vagar will love that. Lux will love that.
but it doesn't mention that it has stacks, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm not seeing
does
any stacks.
yeah, so like the Wild Rift one will be different, but maybe those stacks end up contributing to those things you just mentioned.
Yeah, I'm not sure because I remember seeing that symbol appear underneath the enemy, which I think is cool. I think that is a very clear indicator for the enemy, like, oh crap, they're getting stacks on me. I want out of this right now, and you
Yeah.
being able to very clearly keep track of what you're doing. Um, it's really really interesting. Um, I wonder if so. It's saying that Hypershot will amplify damage types, including true damage. I wonder if that's going to translate over because that's not in the base description.
No,
Um,
not at all. Right.
it's
I mean,
really interesting.
and they're fairly ambiguous with these tidbits. So there's it wouldn't surprise me if there's more to this stuff that they're just not uncovering now, but why put out like a PSA if it's like half the info? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if they leave it purposely ambiguous a little bit to like let people theory craft, because I
Yeah.
wonder if that's kind of fun for people to like, and that does give you a chance to like. We told you what the item does, like in its core element.
Yeah.
But if you're really, really dedicated, you're gonna figure out like exactly how this thing is gonna benefit you, and that's gonna excel you at play. You know? So there's kind of
Yeah.
the skill gap there. I wonder if they do that on purpose. It's more that's a tinfoil hat theory, but I don't
No,
know.
I mean you could be right. I mean, like, there's there's always the fun of mystery, right? So,
Yeah, it's really really
well,
interesting. So there's that one, and then there was one other, but I can't. I literally don't remember what type of item it was, even a little.
so I believe it kind of looks like a crossbow. It's called Lord Dominic's Regards, but basically it's like I think they show it on like Ezreal, but it reminds me kind of like his crossbow glove. But basically they're saying in because Last Whisper has forever been like the like one of the sole pen items for ADCs. They're basically adding this, so like it's passive. It's called Adrenaline, and basically when you're out of combat with other champions for a few seconds, your first attack against them has increased attack speed.
And it's just another
So
armor pen option.
yeah, so it's like this is going to be scary, like on Vayne, like on
Yeah,
really any ADC who's already like scary at the at
it
the
kind of feels a
moment.
little weak though, doesn't it? Like just your first attack has increased attack speed. Like how? I
That's what
guess I have
it's
to see it, but
right. Your first attack against another champ, will have increased attack speed. But yeah, I feel like again there has to be more to it than that, right?
yeah,
So maybe it's like a decreasing thing, right? It's like peak attack speed, lesser attack speed, normal, back to your normal attack speed. I don't know, but like thinking about kind of like a Jinx or somebody who's like already shooting off like really fast. Like, oh my god, no, thank
Even
you.
that one bullet could make a world of a difference. Like truthfully.
Yeah,
Um,
or
I don't remember this
Tristana,
in the video. Oh, say it again.
Tristana, she's like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
Like,
just
no,
having one
thank
of
you,
those
bro.
go like that could be the
She
difference of
puts
getting
her
like hitting you with 4 or 6 bullets because that first
right.
one starts your ability to throw the next one, and with Tristana that's not gonna feel good.
Dude, no, she's gonna have the bomb on you, and she's gonna like bow, 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 and then you're just gonna go boom.
She's gonna want to take that 100%, probably more so
And
than any
I
other champ
feel
in the
like it.
game.
I feel like her and yeah, we'll see.
That sucks.
They reworked Awakened Soul Stealer.
Yes, and it looks really powerful.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I knew what it did before, but like so, but I don't really play this brand of champ, so it doesn't really speak to me.
Um, the tweaks to the passive are crazy. So when you get takedowns on enemy champs within 3 seconds, so how it works now when on enemy champions within 3 seconds of dealing damage to them, you'll reduce the remaining cooldowns of your abilities, including your ultimate, by 20%. The other passive grants you 15% magic penetration. This
Wow.
they've buffed the crap out of this. They've buffed
Yeah,
the
that seems
crap out of
scary
it
on Evelyn.
because it's just dealing damage. A lot of it was
Yeah,
like before it was like you get kills to reduce your ultimate cooldown. That was pretty
right.
much it. Just to deal damage to in the moment reduce your cooldowns by 20% is kind of insane. I don't know how often you can do that. That's the thing that's well maybe it said and I just skipped it.
Yeah, I wonder how often you can activate that ability, but wait,
Oh no, I got it wrong. I'm sorry.
every 3 seconds?
No, I got it wrong. So when you get a takedown still within 3 seconds of damaging them. So it's going to
Okay.
be really
Yeah,
good for
yeah,
very
yeah.
bursty. Like they're showing here that Fizz is one who
Yeah.
will absolutely benefit from that. Um,
Dude, this is gonna be scary on like Evelyn. I
yeah,
mean, really any of like the AP assassins, like even Diana. That sounds scary, you know?
yeah. I don't actually know for sure. I know that the magic pen. I don't take this item like ever. I'm pretty sure the magic pen is new.
Yeah,
Um,
I think you're right.
but
Yeah, because it's the other passive death. I think you're right. But again, I have to check in the game because
yeah,
I don't play that item ever.
yeah. Me neither. And so take this with a grain of salt. But I'm actually taking it back. I think this might be considered a nerf. Kind
Hmm.
of. It will maybe that's not even right the right way to say it. It feels more like a rework because
It is the rework, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like instead of a long game of like reducing your ultimate permanently, you're just reducing in the moment. So if you're going quick and bursty, you have more opportunities to be faster and burstier with this item rather than like
Yeah,
prepping your ultimate in the long run.
there was no
That's a
so
smart change.
the current item is unique takedowns grant 3 ultimate haste capping at 15 after 5 stacks. So you had to stack it
Yeah.
up. There is no penetration. You get 70 AP, 200 more mana, and 25 ability haste.
Yeah.
So it looks like now with the item you're getting this additional magic penetration, and like you said, you're just getting this burst. So it's
Yeah.
like
It's more in the
all
moment.
of
You're
a
not
sudden,
stacking anything.
right? No, it's just like, so like you get a takedown. Now this is going to be kind of like more of your like crowd killing thing. It's going to be like you
Yeah.
jump in with somebody who and people are going to have to run because
The elements of characters I hate are only amplified by this
yeah,
item, but I do think that it's healthy for the game. Like truthfully, like giving them like very specific items for that type of play style may be too powerful with things like Cat and Fizz with against teams that don't know
I
what they're
wonder
doing.
I wonder about Cat. I was just thinking,
Cat's gonna
um,
benefit from this for sure.
I
She
I
throws her
I
knife, and that's the damage. 3 seconds later, they're dead. Like she's gonna absolutely abuse this.
I mean, she's already scary when she gets a reset, but like just imagine like it being any of her cooldowns being like that much faster with more penetration. We'll see.
Yeah.
Um, but especially because they've added this sudden impact room that we talked about.
Oh, this is gonna be a
So
rough patch. This is gonna be a rough one.
I mean, just CC her,
Just see Seer.
But basically, yeah, just CC her.
Uh,
So with this new rune with sudden impact, you gain adaptive penetration when you exit stealth or use a dash, blink, or teleport to deal damage to any champion. So it's basically you're just getting adaptive penetration, whether it's AD or AP, by dashing, blinking, teleporting, coming out of stealth. So actually a lot of people are going to be able to use this.
yeah,
Um,
outside of just AP bursties, but I mean they definitely
right.
will.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, for sure. I mean, this is going to be like, I think this will be good for a Kali. I think this will be good for a Katarina. I mean, yeah, it just seems like it'll be good. They adjusted phase rush too. So basically, it looks like it's just triggering more often. Um, so
Do you think? Wait,
you're
do you
just
think that
like,
this will apply to Vex sudden impact for their ult?
hmm.
It
I mean,
says
it's
dash,
a
blink, teleport, or deal damage to an enemy. To deal damage to an enemy champion. I don't know.
no, I think it could. Yeah,
I
I
hope so. It'll
certainly
be fun.
think. I mean, it basically looks like it. It certainly seems like it. What about? I'm excited for this game mode one for all.
I'm way pumped. I want to play this
I've been,
bad.
yeah, I've been waiting for a while, right? I just want to see some wacky stuff. I hope we can get some like friendly fives together
So
to
fun.
get it going.
It
Yeah,
feels like it is the spiritual cousin of everyone picking Ganondorf or Donkey Kong in Smash Bros. Like everyone
yeah,
being like, all right, everyone pick Bowser. We're all Bowser. Like that's the vibe of this, and I love it.
for
I'm all
sure,
about this kind of crap. It's so
definitely.
stupid. I want to play it
Yeah.
so bad. I'm really excited.
Well, I'm so excited. Just imagine like five Zeds all like going in and using just like
The
you
pick
just
here they
like
have is Oriana, which that
yeah.
makes me want to not play a little bit. But in the same note, like I want to see good games come from this. I wonder, like, I hope that they're like, well, I don't know, like in a game like this where it's like 5 Oriana, I don't want to be like 5 Namis. You know what I mean? Like that would be like, what do we
Yeah,
do? We can't reach her. Like this isn't.
right.
I like I want good games out of it and not just strictly very
Mhm.
one-sided games. But we'll see.
Yeah, how do I'm wondering if there's like a voting system, like because who is like, is it random? Who's picking these champions? Like, do you
Who's
get to vote for the champ?
how do you jungle? No one has smite in this picture. So like does someone just not
There's
jungle?
There is no
It's
yeah,
just
I'd imagine
is
there's just no
gold
jungle.
gain altered? Like I just don't get it. Like I'm
Yeah,
excited,
right.
but I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Seriously, I'm excited. Um let's see what else they talk about. They talked about some stuff with basically continuing to like progressively penalize people who go AFK. Um but they
Avoid
don't
list
really
is
say
awesome.
it's kind of like I don't know. They just say we'll be adding another penalty for players who leave matches, and we'll also have the remake automatically trigger when it's available, so you don't miss the vote. Which I don't know why they didn't just do in the first place.
Yeah, it kind of you know what it has the vibe of to me? It has a vibe of like this is a problem because the person who's gone isn't voting either or whatever, or someone's thinking I can still carry whatever, or just
Sure,
being
yeah,
annoying. And they're like, let's just force it. I'm a little worried about it being a little like not bugged, but like too sensitive and restarting something
mm,
if like someone I don't know, sometimes your phone dies and you have to quick I mean you shouldn't let that happen. But if
right,
they
right,
can plug it
right.
in quick and they're trying to get back in, I mean maybe you do want that remade. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm just most pumped about the avoid list. I've been
Yeah,
baffled at that. Like my buddy, my stepbrother who plays, I remember a few months ago was furious because he had a Rammus go mid in one of his games and just
oh
like
no,
intentionally feed. Like was like very clearly like just rocketing into enemy lines. And he went to
yeah,
his player history and he's been doing that for like weeks,
that's all
just
he
throwing
does. Yeah,
games with
yep,
Rammus. And he's like, why does this happen? And since then, I've always thought, like, why isn't there a ban system? There are so many players in this game. Like, if you ban so many people that your queue times are insanely long, that's on you, I feel like, at that point.
yeah.
So let us ban whoever we want. Like, it's crazy to me. Because you can only
It
do
is. It
three.
does say too that it's like it resets every week. So gosh, hopefully I know like in the higher ranked games, like you pretty much always see the same people, right? Because it's like a much smaller pool of players. Um,
Yeah.
so I feel like every week somebody's going to have this encounter where then they avoid that person.
Dude, you know what I just realized
Like,
too? I actually take it back. I don't think permanent and as many bans as you want is a good idea because the culture of league I feel like could be a problem with like what if I jumped on the Discord one day and with no information knowing anyone else and I said, "Hey guys, I hate Fiasco now. Everyone ban him, no one play with him." Everyone just did it like for fun or what like whatever. Like that would be uncool and everyone being able to hunt that out and do that and it not reset. Like think of a pro player, someone in like a salty top player in any kind of league game being like, "Hey, this other pro champ, we're ending his career. Everyone ban him." And then the cult like following is like, "Hey, sure, let's do it. Let's all ban him." No
yeah,
one like his career's dead. Like there's no way you could do that. So
can't
as
find
I'm saying it
games.
out loud, just
It's like
danger.
so luckily it does reset every week, but
It's for
yeah,
real.
I have a feeling we will have people who jokingly ban or put their friends on the avoid list.
Oh, for real. For sure. It'll be hilarious.
It's gonna
Especially if
happen.
it's only a week. If especially if you can turn it off whenever you want. If I end a match with my friend who even like carried but we still lost and then I ban him for like 3 minutes and then jump back in, it'd be really funny.
That would
Um
be funny.
uh
They're getting rid of all chat too. Did
thank
you see that?
goodness.
Oh,
Thank goodness.
I enjoy all chat. I like to I don't give into toxicity,
Yeah.
but I just it's nice to know like it's kind of like the inside of a huddle, right? It's like you see them yelling at one player, you can just like super tilt them even further, you
Oh, for
know?
sure. I just don't love when I've had like a teammate or someone who like will let there's a support or their ADC and their teammate dies like in the first 5 minutes or something, and then they're just typing to the enemy team like, "Hey, everyone, report so and so after. My team sucks. You guys are cool. Let me join your team." That happens more often than I'd like it to, and the fact that
Mm,
it's just off the table now drives me nuts. It's if you want to talk, like talk to your team to win. I don't see the like in terms of like a
yeah.
tactical benefit. I don't really see lot of benefit of communicating with the other players.
No,
Especially when like
no, there
someone
certainly
who's
isn't any.
not been good on the enemy team is just like they've been the weak link for sure, and then they take your Nexus, and right before they're the one to chat and be like, "You guys suck, I'm great, bye," and then they leave, and it's like, "F you, you did nothing. Your
Yeah,
jungle
yeah.
did everything." Like, dude, it drives me nuts. The fact that that's off the table too, I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, I mean, I've just kind of enjoyed it. It's funny to see, it's funny to see sometimes when you encounter like the couple people who will jab at each other and like 1v1 right now in the river, and
I will miss
your
that.
team will show up to watch like a 1v1.
Yeah.
Oh, so great. I've had some players, I think some people will know exactly what I'm talking about, but there was this Draven. He's like 1v1 me in the river right now. Oh my gosh, so great.
Did you get him?
I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss that stuff.
That's, you know
I
what?
gotta be
That's
honest.
fair.
That's
I won't even lie and say I won't have really cool interactions with the enemy team. Where like I remember like there was one time where I got a Lee Sin ganked me under tower, and it was clean. Like I was like, that was a dope play. Like he got
yeah. You're
me.
like, oh,
He called
got
my
rocked.
bluff like twice. It was crazy. And I typed in, it was like, dude, that was one of the dopest things I've ever seen. And then he chatted back, and we like obviously in the times where it was good to, we were just
Yeah,
like he was giving, like it was cool. We had a cool interaction. It was like shaking hands during a match. It was awesome.
right.
I love that kind of
Yeah,
crap. So I
right. The
will miss that.
sportsmanlike conduct is
Yeah,
sportsmanlike conduct will be missed.
dude, I really will. Like that, you man, you may have me second guessing on how I feel about this, because
I
those
need a
moments
hall
are
chat,
so
man.
dope. I love those.
They are. I mean, like it's like restores your faith, your like hope in this, player base. You're like, dude, I just
Yeah,
met somebody cool. Not everybody's toxic, but they
yeah,
certainly have their days. But I'm gonna miss all chat.
yeah. No, you may have like literally just in the span of this last minute turned
I've
me around on
convinced
that.
you. That's right.
They're talking about skins that are coming back in. I will say the skin lineup, there are some interesting ones coming to Crystal Rose that I wouldn't have expected, and that's not my favorite skin line. But the ones that they're adding
Mm.
in, some of them are pretty cool. I was shocked to see a Kali get one that like, and it look as good as it did, like a clean skin. And I'm trying to think of some of the others. I know that they're showing off the Star Guardians, which I've never cared for those. I didn't grow up
Yeah.
on the Sailor Moon vibe. Um,
No. Yeah, they show off Crystal Rose Vi, which is like Crystal Rose Riven Vi.
yeah, I think I liked the Vi one too. I think the fact that they put her in a
Yeah.
suit and then like the cool gauntlets, like the white and blue, I was like, okay, that's
Yeah.
kind of dope.
Right. I
Um,
think the Riven one looks cool too. It's not my favorite skin line. I do like that the dudes are like dressed like elegantly, like I think Yone looks cool, Ezreal looks cool, Jarvan looks great.
oh,
Like,
we've got the cool Spirit Blossom ones coming. I
oh
love
yeah,
Spirit
yeah, yeah.
Blossom. Timo is one of my favorite skins in the game. Red pandas are cool. He looks like a
Really,
Tanuki, like he's a mix of
he
all that. He looks
does, he does.
great. Um,
I'm sad because I thought they've been showing Set all this love. I thought for sure we would get Dark Blossom Set.
Dark
Um
Blossom set.
or Spirit Blossom Set. He looks, dude.
I have to see that.
Uh it's they just had like a trailer for it for PC, so I thought maybe
Whoa,
they would coincide. It looks really cool. Again, another really cool Set skin. What's with all the Set love? Um
I
I
get it. I
think
hate him, but I get it. He's a cool character.
no,
Oh man.
he's cool. Like he is. I as a champ, I don't have any problems with them. Just kind of like there are champions in this game who get absolutely no attention. Like, can we please get the Arctic Ops like Gragas skin? Like, just can
It's so
some
cool.
of these champs who have no skins get some skins? We keep giving like, dude, we don't need another Vi skin. She's got plenty of skins.
Dude, I
You
can't
know?
believe you even said Vi as the punchline for that when Ezreal and Lux are sitting right there,
Yeah,
just
I mean,
full of
sure.
skins. Hate them. Hate them
Yep.
both. There were some, I want to like see, I'm trying to pull up the skin preview thing without making it blare on my computer. But
Yeah,
it's,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just remember being pretty excited about it. I'm really excited about the new villain, Jin.
Jin?
Yeah, I gotta
Mm,
say, in terms of like the superhero aesthetic, like the Jace one didn't do a lot for me. I don't play Jace, so that didn't help. Um,
yeah, I mean, sure.
but the concept was really cool. Jin's is awesome. He looks like Red X from Teen Titans, and
Yeah,
I'm all
he
about
does.
it.
So I think that's for me specifically that is appealing, but I have a problem with like Jin's character design in general is just so like I kind of feel like they never get away from it, right? He's always just this slender dude with this like
That's
weird
fair.
walk and this massive gun, and I'm like, can we like diverge from that?
Yeah, it's all Jin in like different scenarios.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
if Jin was universal in his
He's a bad
personality,
guy.
but in a superhero world, or Blood Moon Cold. That's a good take. I agree.
Yeah,
But it's frustrating because all of his skins are also great. Like they're good skins. So like
they look
aesthetically,
good.
but I agree. Like I love how Jax has some really interesting ones with like fisherman. Like he's not a warrior. He's like a laid back fisherman who fights. I think that's probably his best skin in my opinion, by the way. I love Fisherman Jax. Um
I love I like the Jace skin. I love them both because they have the cool like comic book side effect,
yeah.
like that you can see like in the effects. It's like boom when he throws out his grenade. I like that. Like with Jace, when you do the hammer stuff, it's all like big effects. It's cool. But I will say, in Jin turning into like the red mask Jin is just cooler than Jace going like
Oh yeah.
faux Super Saiyan. Um, because Super Saiyan Jace, I don't know what they did to him, but I don't like his face. It looks bad.
It doesn't look like Jace. It looks like a different dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
No, Jin with those like visual effects in the attacks, his ult is going to be very fun to land. I would almost love it like if even if it wasn't like you usually have it with these punches and kicks with like the classic like Batman like
Hmm.
sound effects like the
Boom,
blam,
pow.
like
Yeah,
the loud like down. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah. Hmm.
That would be so sick if those went off as he landed his bullets with his ult. I would weep. I'd become a Jin main. I would I would be so funny. Um it is a great skin. I wonder they should have given him a like thinking of different roles for Jin. They could have given him a Hex Tech Explorers one and made him like
Mm.
not necessarily evil but like maybe greedy or like eccentric, like looking for
Yeah,
artifacts.
like competitive, like archaeologists, like
Yes. I
you
agree,
know,
dude. I want it. I want Jin in some different light. You've fully
yeah,
convinced me on that.
right. Can he get away from like the serial killing? Like, I'm sorry.
No, I agree. I mean, Jace has like it's maybe not necessarily evil, but he has like that blacksmith
Hmm.
one where he's gruff, right? He doesn't
He's like
seem
the
like an
dark.
eccentric Tony Stark type. He seems like a
He's
in a
got the
cave
hood
making
over him. He's
swords.
got the
Yeah.
yeah,
Very different
yeah,
vibe of the character. I would love that for
right.
such an interesting character. Dang, I'm gonna just be waiting for it. Um, I have. So, do you think really quick before I'm moving on skins for a hot second now? But do you think
Yeah.
that I've just been a little shocked at Crystal Rose getting as much as it has? Do you think that that's because of sales? Do you think
I
that's driving
wonder.
them making
Yeah,
more?
I I was wondering because they had a Crystal Rose event earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they dropped like Jarvan and
Yeah,
whoever else,
and they just keep
Ezreal,
pumping
Lux,
out more.
Jarvan, and now we're getting like five more. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if they're just like running out of like, I don't know, skin themes. Because I mean, like we know Spirit Blossom's coming. That's cool. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is sales like with Lux and Ezreal and
I don't
yeah. I
know.
don't. I think they're doing. I think I saw in the Discord today too that they're doing a gotcha kind of approach to these skins as well, which is really
Yes,
unfortunate.
it's unfortunate, but I also feel like League in general is pretty. generous with its reward systems. They pump it out pretty free. Like they want you to succeed with it. Oh, that just reminds
Yeah.
me, I didn't finish the dojo one, and it's gone now. Fuh. Um, dang it. I
I
kind
know
of
I
liked that
didn't
one.
I didn't finish the I didn't finish that event in time either. I had like
Yeah.
1,000 damage left or
Oh,
something.
that sucks.
I was like, wow, really?
That's a bummer.
Wow. It
Um,
really was. I was like, dude,
but
couldn't just give it to me.
I gotta see the system. I haven't experienced the gotcha system yet. Like I haven't played with it at all. I want to like actually start doing it and see if it's like how generous they are with that. Because if it's like if it feels fair and you can still purchase the skins like normal, then I don't care. Like if the skins are available to buy at their normal price, or I could get them for free with a gotcha thing, that's dope. Like it's like, oh, build up the energy with the gotcha, and then out of the new skins, you get it. I just don't know exactly how it works, so I could be talking out of
Yeah,
my butt. Um,
unfortunately, they didn't. So what they did was like, for the Supercells event or for the skins, basically you had to buy a chest that could. You could get lucky, and the very first chest you bought was like
but you had to
the
buy it.
skin. Yeah, so you have to buy it, and then
Don't like
it
that.
costs like 400 cores. So like, but basically, it ends up being like you have to spend by the time you've spent money to get 10 chests, you're guaranteed to get it. So it's like
Oh,
you spend 4,000 cores though. So like whatever
mm,
what's 500 cores is, and the price is going up. So let's say like, you know, 500 cores is like what, $5. So, you're looking at having spent like $40,
yeah, that's not
you
cool.
know. No.
I was
So
thinking coins this whole time too, until you just clarified that. Like, I don't know why you were saying cores and I thought coins, but I was like, oh, but you could still do it for free. You literally can't. That sucks.
that's my thing though. It's like they have put paywalls around these like great skins. I'm sorry, I'm not buying a skin for
No,
$40.
there's no
Like
way.
I'm not buying a skin for $25. Like I'm just not. Like it, even if I got it in like 5 or 6 like chests and I got lucky, like that, okay, like I was lucky, but like I just don't want to spend that money like
Why
on one skin.
they? I don't think Riot really has an issue with people buying their skins either. People tend to
I know.
shell out for it. And it feels good to do that too. It's like, I like this game. I've poured so much
Yeah.
hours and enjoyment into it. Let me throw some
Hmm.
money their way, because then I also get a skin. Like, especially when the game's free, right? Like that's
Right.
awesome.
Yep.
This That's uncool. If there's no other way to get these skins, that's uncool. And it sucks too, because like
Right.
the Chroma Crash ones, those are dope. If those are
Yeah.
locked behind a box, I'm gonna be really bummed out. And I don't play Echo or
Yeah.
Jinx, but I would like get
I
it.
was bummed. The Echo one specifically, I think, looks really cool. I was very bummed. So they showed off the set Supercell skin, and I was like, "That's the best skin in the game. I'm
It's
buying it for
good.
sure." Um, and then they put it behind this paywall, and I was like, "Well, I'm sorry. I'm just not spending the money on it. Like, I'm just not." Like,
Um,
if it was a legendary skin and it cost 1350 cores, whatever that ends up being in terms of money, I'd gladly pay it.
Totally.
But
I agree.
I'm not going to pay 4 times the amount to get one skin. I mean, you get these chests and they can result in Poro energy or Poro coins or even a skin. So you could get other rare skins, but it's like, again, like I'm not after that. I just want the one skin.
Yeah.
So,
And it just feels bad, especially because I mean, this is a whole thing we could honestly do an episode on if it consists to be a problem, because it's worth talking about. But there's a lot of there's a lot of data out there nowadays, especially in this day and age, for them to now implement this. And I wonder if PC will as well. It's just a scummy move, not because it's uh, locking good content behind these obscene paywalls of chance, but it really does take advantage of some people who don't have a lot of self-control. There's a lot, like,
yeah.
I don't want to go too off on this, because again, I'm not like an expert. I don't want to talk out of my ass, but there are people who really struggle with that level of self-control when it comes to like instant gratification type things, where
Mhm.
it's not even like very in their control. it's just kind of the way they're wired type of a thing. It's a lot
Right.
of like
Yeah.
gambler addiction, like
Mm-hmm.
very similar type of function. And
100%.
it's very like detailed and documented and researched nowadays. And games are really ragged on for doing these type of things.
Yep.
Like for Riot to implement this late is really lame. And I'll say this: it's lame if there's no other way to get these skins. Flatline period. That's your chance. If they continue to do that, that is so trashy. Like that is a
Right.
huge red flag as a company to do that in 2022.
Right. Especially in a successful company such as this.
Yeah,
Like you said,
totally.
they don't need it. They don't need, but it does feel kind of predatory. It feels bad.
Predatory is the perfect word for it. Like
Yeah.
it's a level of greed that doesn't care about who it takes advantage of when that content could be purchased anyway. Like
Yeah.
it only takes advantage, which is it's either going to lose them money for all of us who would want skins and make sure that tons of people who have that issue are spending obscene amounts of money, and they either break. I don't know if that breaks even or more or what, but it's not cool. Not cool.
No.
So anyway, some
Well-
pretty cool skins coming. We've got.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it. It's a weird note to end it on. They
yeah.
added some fan art to this, which is kind of cool for their update.
Right. If we didn't talk about this, but if you haven't already joined the Discord, I see new people joining all the time, which is cool. Like, come hang out. I'm especially excited to play some One for All with people from the community.
Very pumped.
It's also funny for me to just like run into people in game who I know are in the server. Like last night, I was playing a game. I ran into, I think it was a couple people from the guild on the enemy team, and they're also part of the Discord server. So it was all love there, and it was all GG. But just a fun game. That's cool too.
I've never had that
And,
happen. I'm jealous. That's sick.
Oh really? Oh, it
Yeah.
seems to happen to me quite frequently.
I'm jealous.
But yeah, so that's cool, and the Discord is just a great place to hang out. And also, because we have a YouTube, if you enjoy this content on YouTube, feel free to leave us a comment. Just let us know how things are going. Feel free to like station. Certainly somewhere else you can contribute if you don't want to join the Discord. And dude, like real quick, like small tidbit, like we talked about this last week, like off show, but like we got to get some friend codes exchanged for Switch, like because we need to play some Smash. Like it just needs to happen.
We need to play some Smash. We need to play some Mario Kart. Mario Party is on. Dude, the new Mario Party online is such a blast. I would play that with people in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Mario Kart, I think you can get like 12 people in a lobby too. Having
Wow.
like a huge Mario Kart lobby would be so fun.
For sure.
And then I mean, hey, I don't know who's jumping on Scarlet and Violet, but I'm fully sold. I'm going in. If people need help with raids or hunting stuff, I'm freaking down. I'm so
Sick.
down.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's it. Speaking of gaming, let's get in and get some games, huh?